Part 4: The Ubuntu Tech Ed Model. Reimagining Education for a Human Centered and AI Powered Future. Vision: to cultivate self directed, ethically grounded, technologically fluent African innovators, creators, and custodians who are prepared for a rapidly evolving world beyond the four walls of a classroom. Core Principles: 1. Lifelong modular learning. Education is no longer tied to age or time in school. Learners advance by mastery and interest, not by age or grade. Micro credentials, digital badges, and competency portfolios replace final exam dependency. From ages 7 to 70, individuals build their own learning paths through a hybrid system. 2. Beyond the classroom, the world is a campus. Nature, homes, local businesses, digital labs, and communities become decentralized learning nodes. Schools are repurposed as learning innovation hubs, spaces for collaboration, experimentation, and mentorship. Each learner spends only 30% of time in physical institutions. The rest is for field research, virtual labs, apprenticeships, and self led projects. 3. Ubuntu centric curriculum replaces colonial syllabi with Afrocentric values, history, indigenous knowledge, and spiritual intelligence. Encourages collective intelligence, ethics, and cultural pride. Interweaves Ubuntu philosophy with tech, science, and business education. 4. Technology as a learning partner. AI tutors, augmented reality, and adaptive platforms help personalize learning. Learners use voice to text, AI assistants, 3D printing, coding games, and simulation labs to solve real problems. Blockchain certification systems track skills earned over time. 2. Structure of the Ubuntu Tech Ed model. Phase 1: Early exploration, ages 5 to 12. Objective: discover curiosity, digital tools, community identity, and environmental stewardship. Project based learning: how to build a garden, telling our village's story with VR, weekly community walks, local artisan mentorships. Digital tools: storytelling apps, drawing tablets, logic based games. Phase 2: Maker and Inventor phase, ages 13 to 18. Objective: build real world skills, engage in research, prototype innovation. 40% learning time in digital labs, making spaces, farms, clinics, or startups. Design challenges: build an AI weather bot, make a water purifier using local materials. Apprenticeships with artisans, engineers, coders, healers. Curriculum streams: humanity and ethics, AI and robotics, ecological regeneration, entrepreneurship and digital commerce. Phase 3: Custodianship track, ages 19 to 25 plus. Objective: serve, earn, innovate, and grow in chosen fields while continuing flexible education. Choose tracks: public service, research and innovation, green economy, digital trade, community healing. Work study model: earn stipends while learning in cooperative projects. All learning recorded in AI driven lifelong learning passports. Receive open credentials instead of rigid university degrees. 3. Key components: AI powered learning systems. Smart learning agents like local created algorithm adapt materials to local language, ability level, and interest. AI assesses thinking, creativity, collaboration, not just memorization. VR headsets offer interactive history lessons, medical simulations, or space science labs. Local knowledge in global tech integrates indigenous problem solving systems, for example, conflict resolution, herbal medicine, with modern science inquiry. Learners explore: how did our ancestors engineer water systems? Then compare with smart irrigation. community as curriculum. Every village or town becomes a learning hub. Monthly themes like Fix Our Electricity Grid or Recode Our Education System. Elders, professionals, and artisans are co-educators. Decentralized digital education wallet. A learning wallet on each child's device stores credits, badges, feedback, ideas. Funded by the state, the wallet allows free access to open source courses, research tools, virtual internships, mentorship platforms. 4. Implementation strategy. 1. Transition existing schools. Phase out rigid classroom schedules. Equip with solar power, internet, AR/VR labs, maker kits. Train teachers as learning guides, not content deliverers. Because rigid colonial era systems are not preparing students for today's economy, kids need to collaborate, think critically, use tech, and innovate, not just memorize facts. 2. Deploy community tech hubs. Each township or rural ward gets a digital Ubuntu learning center run by youth and elders, equipped with AI devices, coding kits, biology labs, media production gear. 3. Train a new class of educators. Develop the Ubuntu Futurist Educator Academy. Teachers become ethical AI mentors, ecological restoration guides, interdisciplinary innovators. 4. Public private ecosystem. Government plus SMMEs plus tech giants plus cooperatives co fund education innovation zones. Google, MTN, Huawei, and African universities co develop the digital learning stack. 5. Outcomes and benefits. Learners graduate with portfolios, startups, projects, not just certificates. No one finishes school. They keep learning throughout life. Villages produce engineers, healers, and inventors from within. Education ends poverty by aligning passion, purpose, and practical skills. Inclusion through personalized learning, embracing neurodiversity and disability. In the traditional classroom model, learners with disabilities or neurodiverse conditions, such as autism, ADHD, dyslexia, or sensory impairments, are often marginalized, misunderstood, or forced to adapt to rigid systems that were never designed for them. The new equation challenges this legacy by advocating for a flexible, personalized, and tech enhanced learning model that meets students where they are, not where the system expects them to be. AI and adaptive learning technologies offer powerful tools for inclusion. Smart systems can adjust content delivery, pacing, and interaction style to suit each learner's cognitive and emotional profile. A child with dyslexia, for example, can receive audio based instructions and visual pattern tools. A nonverbal learner can communicate through AI powered speech generation or symbol boards. For learners on the autism spectrum, environments can be digitally adapted to reduce sensory overload, while still promoting social emotional development through gamified engagement and real time emotional feedback systems. But beyond tools, the new equation promotes a philosophical shift to recognize difference not as a deficit, but as a dimension of human intelligence. Neurodiverse learners are not problems to be fixed. They are powerful contributors with unique ways of seeing and solving. By designing inclusive learning systems from the ground up, Africa can lead the world in creating educational models that are not only equitable, but also radically empowering. Closing thought. Education must liberate, not domesticate. The Ubuntu Tech Ed model ensures that every South African child learns how to think, create, heal, collaborate, and adapt, not merely how to pass exams.